Hello guys. Today I'm going to be reading a poem that I made. Um, I wasn't really feeling the best, so I decided I wanted to make a poem. And coincidentally, like around this time, I've also been wanting to like try out my dad's new fountain pen, and I was like I've never tried a fountain pen, so I was like, okay, I want to write poetry and I want to try a fountain pen. That's a really good combo. Because I like to write it like on paper. I mean, I've written poetry like on like typing, but like I think just paper it just feels better. There's more of a connection. So um, yeah, and I did that, and it's like it's not really conventional in any way. I kind of just did it from the heart, and I have some like explanations for it. So yeah, let's find it. Okay. Vines knocking on the window, carrying energy from the core, illuminating through the glass. Shudders from the storm await. Thump, boom, thump. The heartbeat of God's image feels. Same as the army of 1,000. The serpent never prevails. Beating up at the ground. Thump, boom, thump. Oh, what do our decisions entail? So sorry if I was stuttering, because like I'm not a good outspoken. But it's like I'm not good at reading out loud. But so I'm gonna read you guys my explanation. Basically, as God's creations, we are forever meant to be like one with nature, because we were made from nature, from mud, and the storm is nature fighting against us. And what I'm trying to say is that since we're part of nature, since we kind of are nature, the storms fighting against us, that's like ourselves fighting against us. It's how we make decisions. Sometimes we may make decisions. These decisions might actually accidentally hurt us in the short term or long term. Um, we often make mistakes and it just ruins our lives. So that's like the storm hurting us. That's nature hurting us. That's ourselves hurting ourselves. Um, as we question, why do I think this way? Why has my own kind betrayed me? The devil creeps up and gets a hold on us. So as we're like start going into this loop, into this questioning, like just trying to find the answer, the devil realizes that we're vulnerable, and the devil is able to creep up on us and wait for us. Um, but our emotions, and then because of this, our emotions, since we're humans, we're not just storms. Storms can't think, but humans, we can feel emotion. We have this amazing gift that we can feel emotion, and actually, and that emotion can definitely determine what we do in our life. Um, and from these, when asking ourselves these questions, emotions are sparked, very strong emotions, and these emotions are kind of like these emotions are kind of like pulling the two ends of our sanity, um, trying to keep them stable, from going away. Um, like it's like a rope. It's kind of like our sanity is one long rope, and it's detached because we're in like a bad mental state or something like that. But our emotions are trying to keep it together. When we ask ourselves these questions, these emotions that come from these questions, but it can but it's on the verge of snapping again, verge of letting go, and yeah. So the devil, and when this happens, we're extremely vulnerable. So the devil waits for us for the rope to break fully, relying on our emotion-driven and irrational decisions to get what he wants. So, I mean, think of it like, I don't know, doing drugs. A lot of times, people do drugs, they're not thinking straight. They're peer pressured. They're not thinking for themselves. Everything is just kind of a blur. Um, Another example might be just simply insulting someone because you're just mad. Someone was trying to get the better of you. Someone who was lower than you, like intellectually, was just like being mean to you, and you decide, oh, I hate that they said this about me, so I'm gonna say the worst back. Which, in hindsight, things you don't want to do because it just makes it worse. And this is how that can ruin our lives, and that's what changes things. So that's kind of the philosophical explanation. Now, going on to the illusions, basically it's like, so uh, the heartbeat of God's image feels, that's us. That's because humans can feel emotion and we can act on it. and God's image. And the reason why it's us is because, you know, we were made out of God's image from mud. That's like a biblical illusion. And then same as the army of 1,000. This comes from Psalm 91, where it's like there might be 1,000 on your left hand, 10,000 on no, 1,000. I think it's like 1,000 fall on your left, 10,000 on your right, or something like that. I don't know. I remember. I just like Psalm 91 a lot. Even though I'm still like always still confused about religion and stuff like that. Psalm 91 definitely as just a piece of scripture, talking specifically about the Lord, not Jesus or Muhammad or whatever, just God, just one God. It's a great thing to read and to think about. And also this also represents, like, you know, one man's emotions and thoughts can be the same as 1,000 men's emotions combined in one. That's how complex we are. It doesn't. It's not. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, for example, in like rhetoric, people say that, oh, numbers means numbers have purpose. So it's like the more people you have, the more you can persuade someone. But that's not in this case, because I'm talking about this in a spiritual case, in a more personal case, you know, just from within ourselves. We're not trying to persuade anyone. It's more just like reflecting on our own emotions, and that's how I see things. I think that one person's emotions is the same as everyone else's emotions, in terms like in just how they are curated and how they kind of like spark and interact with each other. It just depends how we act on it, and we do that differently because, you know, God gave us all different personalities, and also like our environment affects that too. So yeah, and then the serpent obviously is the devil, like, you know, Adam and Eve, like that's typical. And yeah, this, I think I talked about this. Yeah, I said the storm was. I already talked about the storm, and yeah. And one cool thing is when I was writing this, like the whole part vines to start it, I didn't really have any inspiration. I kind of was just thinking, I was like, oh, I just want to write about something, and then I said, oh, vines knocking on the window, carrying energy from the core, illuminating through the glass. I was that and shudders from the storm await. So I literally was just sitting here, and this was during the day. Right now it's dark, but I look on my left because on my left on the window, I'm kind of in a half basement, so it's like I just see vines and stuff like that. And then I can see outside in the bushes. So I look and I see the vines that are on my window, and I see the light shining through it, and the light shining through the leaves onto here, kind of showing green. And I also see it's really windy outside, so that kind of gave me inspiration. Remembering that nature is always right outside. We are always right outside. You know, our another piece of ourselves is always right there. We're always going to be grounded with nature. When you're standing on the earth, you're standing on God's creation. Not only standing on God's creation, but we are also God's creation. So we're standing on ourselves. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like that. It's a beautiful thing to think about, I think, in my opinion, because it makes you feel less lonely. You understand that you're not alone. You have the world around you to explore and just to think about. So yeah, that's really it. Sorry if I kind of rambled and this doesn't make any sense, but this is just coming from my heart. I didn't really have any typical convention from this. I just like wrote whatever. It's probably bad conventionally. It probably has like a lot of like bad grammar and, like, you know, syllables and stuff, but it's okay. So yeah, thank you for watching. I haven't made any video in a while. Might post another video soon. So yeah, look at my lights. They're kind of cool, aren't they? So yeah, all right, bye guys.